recorded meetings before, but the reason I want to do that is because when I say raise your standards, it's because you're better than you think you are. I've seen a lot of members come through and they start doing really good, but then they have this self-doubt and they ask me, like, they'll be like, I don't think I'm doing that good. I don't feel comfortable. I'm like, you're doing great. What are you talking about? And I think if we record the meetings and you can go back and we're going to post them on our YouTube channel and you can see yourself, you'll see that you're really not that bad. You're good at it. In fact, that happened to me once. It's back when we were in person and I was giving a speech and I was nervous and I could feel my voice quivering. And afterwards, I went to Elvis Lopez and I was like, Elvis, I'm so nervous. Was it that bad? And he's like, well, what are you talking about? You were fine. And I figured he was being nice and polite. So the next meeting, I recorded it. And on my way home, I listened to it and I was like, oh, it really isn't that bad. It wasn't great, but it wasn't bad. My point is, you're better than you all think you are. And by watching the video of yourself later on, you'll hopefully raise your standards and say, I can do more because I'm already that much better. And tonight's meeting, I have a bunch of helpers, but let's talk about something really positive. As a member who has not joined us this year, I don't think, and that's John Capello, and he's going to be our inspirational speaker tonight. And John, I'll hand it over to you to give some words of wisdom.
Excellent. Thank you, David. Let me just say that my name is John Capello. I joined Toastmasters probably 3 years ago, but it has been probably going on a year now since I've been in person at the Vine. So it's good to be back, albeit in this different atmosphere. And tonight I will be serving as your inspirational master. And maybe it's a little bit longer than what you're used to, but I do think the message will be worth it and tie well into what David's theme is. Now, for as long as I can remember, I've always been a big believer in the power of positive thinking. And I feel like if you can master what's between your ears, that you can master your life. Now, Dean Graziosi is this life success coach, and he has this concept about positive thinking, and it's a metaphor regarding thermostats or thermometers versus thermostats. And if you just work with me for a moment, we're going to think about the surface differences, right? You think about a thermometer, it's a pretty basic, it's a tool, it's a measurement tool, and it always reflects or mirrors the outside temperature. Bar goes up when it's hot, bar goes down when it's cold. Pretty simple. And I ask you, who's really in control in this situation? Well, the environment is in control. Conversely, a thermostat, you set the temperature to whatever's comfortable or room temperature. Now, no matter if it's hot or cold outside, you have the power to adjust it, notwithstanding expensive Duke Energy bills. But all that being said, the bottom line is that you are in control. Now, how do we apply that to positive thinking? Okay. If someone's behaving like a thermometer, right, their attitude, their happiness is fully determined by external stimuli, good or bad. Life is in control. Now, happiness and fulfillment even become an outcome. Like, how can life hand me a good hand? Now, that works out fine if things are going well and dandy and the weather is warm and sunny. But when the weather turns nasty, and I would argue 2020 is the epitome of that, things can go off the rails pretty quickly. Negativity, criticism, resentment, despair, all these things can start formulating these false limiting beliefs. We start doubting ourselves, we underperform, and as a result, we just reinforce the same limiting beliefs that we thought. That's called the dreaded negative feedback loop. See, I'm no good. See, I'm hopeless. And if we allow that negative feedback spiral to go out of control, you can lose your confidence, you lose your motivation, and you can even fall in a state of depression. A thermostat, by contrast, is way different. They're not impacted by the world's feedback or outside environment. Their internal temperature / mindset are all consistent at room temperature, and it's fully within their control. Happiness then is not, it becomes a choice, not an outcome. Their positive mindset would help them overcome negative criticism, no matter what comes their way, because they know they have the power to achieve, overcome, persevere, no matter what hand life deals them. My name is John Capello, and my inspirational message this evening is this: now, more than ever, be a thermostat, not a thermometer. Toastmaster, back to you.
Thank you, John. And part of Toastmasters on Zoom is this is how we clap our hands. We'll either do this quietly or we do the jazz hands because we're all on mute, just so you know. And I'd like to also welcome Jeff. He's a longtime Queen City member. He actually did my evaluation on my icebreaker. So that's how long ago I met Jeff several years ago. So welcome, Jeff. Now, tonight's meeting, we're going to have some helpers, and we're going to start with our grammarian, and I'll let him explain his role, and that is our very own Turker Balut, but he likes to go by Balut.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and honored guests. My role tonight is to serve as your grammarian. A few key actions I will take throughout the night is, 1, count everybody's filler words. What are filler words? Those are crutch words that we rely on when we need to fill in the silence, or when we don't quite know what we're going to say next. Examples of that could be like, so, and. Anytime one of us uses one of these crutch words, I will take note and report at the end of the meeting. Another duty I have tonight is to share a word of the day. And tonight's word of the day is novel. A novel as an adjective. New, my thing can't show. The definition is new or unusual in an interesting way. So we'll use it as an adjective tonight. I'll only count the adjective once. Obviously, there's a novel, like a fiction book, but tonight's word is novel. And I will report back at the end of the meeting on the use of the word of the day. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you, Mr. Grammarian. I appreciate that. Before we go any further, I just wanted to also recognize another guest who just came in. Mrs. Williamson. I'm going to try to pronounce your first name. Just want to introduce yourself and let us know how you found out about Toastmasters.
Yes, my name is Tanika Williamson, and actually I've been to some of your face-to-face events back in probably 2019 and like leading right up into COVID. So I am excited to be here. Thank you.
Great. Thanks for joining us tonight. And next up is going to be our timer, and he is the newest member of Queen City Toastmasters, and he's jumped right into it. And that is Julian. You want to explain your role to us?
Yep. Thank you, Toastmaster. Good evening, members and guests. Tonight, I will be your timer. It is my job to time all speeches and also the table topics impromptu speeches. I'm using an app on my phone to display the time, and then also it should show you a color change when you reach the qualifying time, and then also if you go over that time. So, and I apologize if you can't see it very well, but I think David is going to have a backup color. Back to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you. I wasn't sure, we hadn't discussed it earlier, Julian, but there's a 30-second window on, so if it goes to 5 minutes, or if it goes to 7 minutes, they can go to 7:30 and still qualify.
Okay.
And then I'm also going to be doing the green, yellow, and red just as a backup because his phone was a little blurry for us. Now, when we're usually in the regular meeting, which hopefully we're going to get to soon as things hopefully turn back around, we usually have a ballot counter. But on Zoom, we have a little device that I'm going to do. It's a can't even think of the word now. Anyways, it's going to be a little poll. That's the word. Poll's going to come up and you can choose your favorite table topic speaker tonight because we only have one speaker tonight. And I'm going to go ahead and introduce her and let her do her speech. This is our Vice President of Public Relations, Natalie Alberto. She's going out of the Pathways Dynamic Leadership Level 1 Evaluation and Feedback. She'll be doing the speech tonight, and then she will be getting an evaluation. And then she'll come back next week and give it again, just with a little few tweaks and things like that. and it sounds very out there. Her speech is entitled The Relativity of Reality. Please welcome Natalie Alberto.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and distinguished guests. Happy New Year. It is my pleasure to be here with you. How's everyone feeling this evening? Feel free to shout out a few words.
Great.
Amazing.
Awesome. I'm so happy to hear that. I want to invite you all to stand up. We're going to do an exercise together. Extend your right hand forward in a cupping motion. You can follow me on your screen. And then your left hand, place it gently behind. I'm going to demonstrate for you, but we're going to do some hip rolls, starting with left to right. So we're going to roll to the left and then to the right. Try it with me. Rolling to the left, rolling to the right. Now, repeating with me, and you can unmute your microphones if you feel so inclined. We're going to say the following affirmation. Yes, I'm sexy. Yes, I'm fierce.
Yes, I'm sexy.
Yes,
I'm sexy.
Yes, I'm clear.
I'm sexy. You know.
Let's do it again. One more time to the left. Yes, I'm sexy.
Yes, I'm sexy.
Yes, I
Yes,
am sexy.
Yes, I got this.
Yes, I got
I have this.
You can sit down now. Members of the Vixen Army. This is a dance fitness, body positive dance fitness class I joined 8 years ago. And for me, it changed my relationship with body, food, and dance. You may be wondering, what does this have to do with the relativity of reality? Is reality real or is it relative? I'm going to let you decide, but I want to share a story with you first. This is me at the age of 6. I knew I wanted to be a ballerina, and I asked my mom to enroll me in dance class, which she did. And as my journey progressed as a ballerina and I entered middle school, my South American heritage began to claim its inheritance, and my accented curves came in. At which time my dance teachers told me that to be a successful ballerina, I didn't have the right body. At that young age, I intuited that something needed to change, but I didn't have a plan. And on an unconscious, unintentional level, it seemed logical that the choice would be to stop eating in order to get to the body that was desired for ballet. Sure enough, I took this path without consulting my parents or anyone. I would give my lunch away to friends at school. And I began to become tired. I would sleep all the time. And I started missing dance rehearsals, the very thing that I loved and the very reason I had given up eating. So my mom caught on, and that was the end of ballet. She said, Natalie, we're not going down this path. That's it. We went to the doctor. We got some supplements, vitamins, and after some negotiation, I convinced her to let me return to the world of dance, but this time it was through jazz and hip hop. What I didn't realize at the time was that we could create our reality. I took at face value what my teachers told me about my body size. And to give you an example, this was me in middle school. So not too much different than what you see here now. So I went back to dance, and what I was told, basically took me down a journey. And I'm so grateful for it now, looking back, because it was a gift, a manifestation of love to truly become conscious and aware of the choices that I was making and how I was going to achieve my goals. It led me to uncover one of my greatest values, which is to seek health and to achieve my goals in a healthy and conscious way. By turning to alternative modes of dance, like hip hop and jazz, I was able to join dance team in high school and college, which led to friendships that I wouldn't have had otherwise. I later went back to school to study holistic nutrition and became an integrated health coach. And a few years back, 5 years ago, I launched a food brand with my brother, and that merged my love of food and also dance. Chimichurri, we shimmy in the kitchen. We like to shimmy when we shimmy, we say. And fun fact, I always tease that my brother stole my career because at age 15, he had better insight than me and knew he could create. And he created a ballet career and went on to dance in Russia. But last but not least, it led me to join the Vixen Army 8 years ago. And this really helped to bring my journey full circle as a dancer. I was able to achieve my dream of dancing on my own terms. And a year ago, in 2019, I became a certified instructor. I redefined my relationship with my body, with mind, and with food. We say the affirmations that we said at the start of today's session at every class so that we're reminded that we're dancing for fun, to let loose and have a great time. What I took away from my experience in the ballet world was every day we have the ability to choose. I could have chosen to be mad at my teachers. I could have been mad at my mom for pulling me out of the class. I could have been mad at the industry standard. Instead, I chose to take an alternative path, and you have that power too. I want to invite you to close your eyes and put both hands on your heart. This is one of my favorite affirmations. So repeat after me. I am a conscious creator. I have the ability to choose the life I most desire and create it. Again, I am a conscious creator. I have the ability to choose the life I most desire and create it. You may open your eyes. I wanted to remind you all that you can choose your reality. So is reality real? Is it fixed or is it relative? That's up to you to decide. If you feel so inclined in 2021 to step into conscious creation and would like me to be your guide, you can send me a private message and I will take on a pro bono client. Happy New Year, everyone.
That was very good, Natalie. Thank you very much. And thanks for engaging the audience. Got us all up and got our blood going. We had some technical difficulties with the timer.
I apologize.
That's okay. No, that's why we always have backup. I'm always planning ahead, so it's a good thing. But Natalie came in at just about 7 minutes. I started timing a few seconds late, but she definitely qualified for her time. Before we move on, I also forgot to acknowledge Travis. Travis is also a guest. We just see him on a regular basis and we appreciate him coming. If you want to say hello, Travis, and introduce yourself to the group.
Oh, hey, how's everybody doing? Yeah, I've been to a few meetings right now. Yeah, technically I'm still a guest, but I've been to a number of meetings. So, hi everybody.
Right.
Happy New Year.
We appreciate you coming. Now we're going to do an audible tonight. Prissa was going to be our second speaker, but she's feeling under the weather. But Andrea has decided that she could do a speech, and we were going to have Natalie do the evaluation. Are you up for an evaluation, Natalie? All right, so Natalie's going to do an evaluation on Andrea. So Andrea, I don't know the name of your speech, so I'll just go ahead and let you do it, and then you can tell me when you're ready, and we'll start the timer. Go ahead.
Hello, everyone. We in Toastmasters have to be prepared to do an impromptu speech. Therefore, I decided I would do an impromptu speech. Once, about 2 years ago, I participated in the table topic contest. In the table topic contest, I was asked a question, what do you do when you have something sticky on my hands? Now, I had prepared as best as I could for a table topic question. And yes, that is a thing. You can prepare for table topics. I studied YouTube videos and researched other documents on table topic speeches. Fellow Toastmasters, members and guests, I would like to share with you tonight the things that I learned in my research of impromptu speaking. One of the things that I learned is that it doesn't start being timed until your first word is uttered. Therefore, once the question is asked, you have time to pause, reflect, and think how you may respond. It is still 2 minutes long, and it doesn't start, as I said before, until you utter your first word. But go ahead and take a pause. The other thing I learned is that you can repeat the question that is asked. Now, you can't do that too many times because the judges know that trick. What to do in you have something sticky on your hand, or what was the last time you had something sticky on your hand? And I can respond, what was the last time I had something sticky on my hand? The last time I had something sticky on my hand was, and that way I'm taking up some time. But I don't really recommend that too frequently. Like I said, the judges know that trick. What I do recommend is 2 other things that I learned. My favorite is, in order to extend your gathering of your thoughts, you can say, hey, if you would have asked me that when I was 6 years old, I could tell you about the time I captured fireflies and took out the bottoms and put them on my ears, had sticky glow-in-the-dark earrings on my hand. Or I can say, if you was to ask my brother that, he would have said, when he had oil all over him after he changed the filter in his car. All those things are tactics to help you gather your thoughts and pause and generate some time if you don't have anything to say. You can go and say, if you were to ask me that in the futuristic Andrea, I would tell you about the time I'm in my spaceship car and I'm putting my hand out the wind and I'm capturing clouds, and the clouds are sticky with snow or something like that. Creative. All that is to say is that when you answer the question, you can respond at a previous period of time, a latter period of time, or you can make the remark pertain to someone else to generate time as you gather your thoughts. The other thing that I learned is you can respond as a role that you possess in this current time. I have many roles that I feel. I am a wife, I am a sister, I am a daughter, I am a mother, I am a grandmother, I am a nurse, I am a Toastmaster, I am a Blue Star mother, meaning that I am a mother of a son in the military. I have so many roles that I play. And when you're asked the question, you can respond in one of your roles. I can say, as a nurse, I have had many times I've had something sticky on my hands. However, I would save you the gory details. I could also say, as a grandmother, there are several times I had something sticky on a hand. I can tell you the time that I reached out and grabbed what was in my grandson's hand before he plopped it in his mouth. And when I opened up my hand, discovered that it was duck poop. You can respond in any of those roles. However, it does take practice. In summary, I would like to encourage you to sign up for the upcoming table topic contest. You can practice. You can use tactics of pause. You can use tactics of different roles in your life or even different periods of your life. And always remember to greet your fellow Toastmasters and guests and judges. Thank you. Toastmaster.
Thank you, Andrea. That was a very novel speech, talking about how to draw out a table topics speech. And I agree with you. I think all board members, including myself, should have a speech in our back pocket ready to go at any time for cases like tonight where we need a speaker. So I appreciate you stepping in and giving us a speech. Mr. Timer, could we get a timer's report on Andrea's speech? And you're muted.
Oh, sorry. I had 6 minutes, 56 seconds.
Perfect. So she and Natalie both qualify for tonight's speech contest, and I'll put up in a poll in a minute when I figure it out. I'm gonna have to raise my standards to figure out how to do a poll, but I'll do one. Let's see. Up next is gonna be our general evaluator. Nope. It's going to be our table topics master, which is going to be the fun part of the evening where guests and members who don't have roles get to participate in a speech. And I'll let Angelica Ritter explain her role and take it over, Angelica.
Thank you. Thanks, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Happy New Year for everybody. And Andrea, thank you for your novel speech. As David said, I think that you give us a great tips and hopefully everybody can use it now. So as your table Toastmaster, I will provide some topics and which will give you the opportunity to practice your impromptu speech. As we started this new year, I am personally looking forward for what this new year is going to bring us. I am very, very optimistic that we will be doing what we used to do last year, go back to our old routine. Many of us, we will go back to work, to our regular office setting, environment. The kids, we would go back to school. We will be planning our new birthday parties and celebrations, and we will be planning our new vacations. So I think that the topic for tonight is going to be vacation. I think that it's a topic that it will keep us inspired and enthusiastic about this new year. So any volunteer that would like to answer my first question? Any guess? Okay, I'm going to call. Typically, okay, Ali, there you go. Let's do it. All right. My first question is, what type of vacation would you like to plan? Are you an adventure traveler up to explore new places? Or are you a leisure traveler looking for just a good relaxing time, maybe in a resort, for example?
Thank you, Madam Table Topics Master. Thank you, Mr. Toastmasters. Hello, fellow guests. The type of vacation I would like to plan, off the top of my head, I would say probably something relaxing. Due to everything that's going on right now with the current climate, life can get somewhat stressful. So I would say right now, I wouldn't want to novel my way into a interesting vacation where you put me out in the wilderness, I don't know where I'm at. Put me somewhere where I'm just very comfortable, I want like a nice little manicure, nice glass of wine, you know, maybe like getting a massage on the beach, sitting back and just relaxing right now. Because I will know that in probably a couple days, life will get back to normal and the sun is going to come and I'm gonna have to get back to work. So I would say my vacation would be a combination of just relaxing on the beach with some wine, getting a nice massage, and then hopefully in 2021, we can get back to vacations and traveling. And that's exactly what I think I might do in 2021. I may take a vacation. Thank you, Madam Tabletop Master.
Thank you, Ali. I agree with you. I think that we all need that type of vacation where we can relax. This has been a noble year, so 2020 was a noble year. So I agree with you. We need some time to relax and have fun. Okay, question number 2. Any volunteer? I'm going to invite Jeff. Sure, perfect. All right. What are 2 or 3 items that you always have to take with you on your vacation, in addition to your basic items that you may need?
Okay, so 2 or 3 items that I have to take with me in addition to my standard items. Well, I actually try to be a minimalist when I go on vacation. So by doing that, you have a minimal amount of luggage, right? You can carry a small bag, right? You can get on, whether it's an airplane or whatever, you can just get on the plane and not have to worry about checking your luggage, because basically you can, at a lot of places, you can get what you need over there, whether it's toothpaste, you know, even other essentials. Now, I will say, I'm not sure, there is one thing which I do like to bring depending on the vacation type, and that is a swimsuit, whether or not it's, you know, and I'll say whether or not I'm planning on going to the beach or not. So in other words, I'm going to a place where there's a beach, and I'm not sure if that's going to be an adventure vacation, right? Or if that's going to be a leisure vacation, but I'm just going to bring it just in case. And that's the kind of place I like to go to, where it's warm, it's sunny, and we don't have these clouds like we have over here in Charlotte, or this rain coming down like we had in the past couple days. And that allows me to have some flexibility, because then I can do whatever I want. I can relax by the beach, even take a nap on the beach, right? With the warm sun hitting, right? Or even just, if I just want to go into the water for a little bit, go into the water for a little bit. It's always nice, but again, I'll try to keep it minimalized, right? I try to not carry those huge bags that you see people carrying. Just try to keep it small, try to keep it simple, right? And with that, that allows me to have as much fun as I possibly can. And I encourage people to try it out for themselves to see if they would like to do that type of thing too. And that is how I'd like to go on vacation.
Thank you, Jeff. I need to follow your advice. I'm now minimalist. I pack a lot just in case. That's how I pack, just in case. So I will try to follow your advice. All right, question number 3. There you go, Mina, perfect. All right, Mina, what is the best vacation or best travel memory you ever had?
So thank you, Madam Toastmaster. I'm very adventurous person. So the best vacation that I have already had is going to the ski resorts, staying there for a week. That's the best thing that I love. I try to have it every year, and this year actually I booked for the 1st to 3rd of January, but unfortunately on the 31st of December, my daughter, she became COVID positive test. So, and I had to cancel this plan. So, but fortunately they kept the credit for me for during this year in order to have it. But this is my best vacation. My husband, he is opposite of me. He likes to go to the beach and having some rest, relaxing. But I'm very active. I like to, whenever we are going to the beach early in the morning, I try to go out running, doing several other things. I'm not a relaxed person. So that's it. Back to you.
Thank you, Mina. Yeah, I love the beach too. I love this. That's one of my good places to go as well. And I hope your daughter is doing well now. So thank you. All right. Do we have time for a few more questions?
I think you could do 2 more, and maybe some of our newer guests we can engage.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Perfect. What about Tara? Would you like to answer one question?
Sure.
Great. All right. What was the most odd food that you got to eat during a vacation, if you did?
Well, I have a very novel response to that question because I consider my entire life to be a vacation. When I was a little girl, I was so intrigued with travel and different lifestyles and different languages that I made it my mission to make every day and every moment of my life something very original and very different from what everyone else might be experiencing. And so I would say the most interesting, weirdest thing, if you will, that I've ever tried on vacation, the vacation of my life, was when I moved to my husband's hometown in Japan, and we tried fresh sea urchin. It is a taste like none other. Very rich. I would say it's similar to cheese, but definitely not cheese. Fishy cheese, maybe. But it is an amazing taste, and it cannot compare to what you would expect. It cannot compare to maybe samplings that you've had here in the States where it has been imported. Fresh sea urchin that has been brought in that day in Japan has been the most magnificent vacation meal ever. And I highly suggest that if you have a destination on your list, that you do add Japan and also try to see if you can have a sampling of fresh sea urchin when you do arrive. Thank you, Toastmasters.
Thank you, Tara. Yeah, Japan is on my list. China too, but I'm not sure about the food. We got to try. Okay. Do we want to do one more? One more? Okay. Parkbinder. Is that right? Okay. Let's. Okay. What is the funniest moment you remember when you were on vacation?
Thank you, Angelica. And the funniest moment when I was on vacation. So back in 2015, I think, yeah, it was 2015. I was in Colorado. We were on a vacation with few friends, and I wanted to, I think before that, I never been to a hot springs. And I wanted to visit a hot spring in Colorado. I saw a board, and we were all okay. I think we can go to the hot spring and have some good time over there. And we didn't read the board outside, and it was that hot springs was a nude hot spring. Like you are not allowed to wear any clothes inside. And as soon as we went in and we saw everybody and we were like, what is happening here? And we were all in our swimsuits. So that was very funny. We stayed there for a few minutes, maybe I think 15 minutes. I think we stayed there and we felt a little awkward because we were not prepared for that. And yeah, after a few 15 minutes, we came out and we laughed out loudly as soon as we came out. And I still remember it, and I still talk to my friends about it, that how funny it was. So that was my funny moment. And back to you.
Thank you, Parvani. That was funny. That really was. And definitely we have been, yeah, we all have done some, funny stuff. But thank you. David, that's it. Do we want one more or we're good?
We're
Perfect.
good.
Thank you, everybody. Back to you.
Thank you, Angelica. Julian, can we get a timer report on all of our table topics people?
Yes, so Ali, I had 119, so that qualifies. Jeff, I had 213. It goes to 2 minutes or 30 seconds, right? Okay.
Right. Yeah,
and then, so that qualifies. Mina, I had 139, so she qualified. Tara, 139 as well, so that qualifies. And Harvinder, 130. Sorry if I just said your name wrong. So I think everyone qualified.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Timer. And I just did our poll, which I guess I raised my standards and I figured it out. So that's perfect. And thanks for everybody for participating in table topics. That's a fun way to start your public speaking. If you're a first timer or beginner, it just kind of gets you going. And for me, it's improv, so it's a little bit tougher for me to come up with stuff. I choose to prepare my speeches way in advance so I can practice them 100 times and I still get them wrong. But anyways, up next is our general evaluator. The evaluation part of Toastmasters is important because it gives us feedback on our speeches and it gives us feedback on the meeting as a whole. So please welcome our club secretary, Elvis Lopez.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and distinguished guests. Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. What a great way to start the year with a meeting like this. A great variety, past members who have joined, novel speeches, and starting with also novel board members who are actually working for the next period. My role tonight, as has been explained briefly by our Toastmaster, is to give or to conduct the evaluation portion of the meeting. This is one of my favorite parts, and as you may be aware, in all the learning and growth processes, the feedback loop is very important. And this is the portion where our evaluators or our members will give evaluation to our members who have prepared speeches. I will have two parts that I will be covering. The first one will be introducing the evaluators, and the second one will be to give a general evaluation of the meeting as a whole. At the end, I will be also calling our grammarian for the Grammarian Report. Without further ado, I would like to call our first evaluator, Ali Towing, who will be evaluating our first speaker, Natalie.
Thank you, Elvis. Hello, fellow Toastmasters, fellow guests. First, I would like to say, Natalie, your speech was very novel into the new year. And the first thing, like when you gave your speech, you were sitting down, and when you stood up, the first thing that came to my head was like, I was thinking in my head, like, man, I noticed her and David are the only ones to stand up for a speech. I need to start standing up for my speeches. And then when you made us all stand up, I was like, man, what I was thinking came into existence. And so it reminded me of like your speeches you gave. First, I would like to say, I like to recognize you because I've seen the progress of your speeches just go from here to here to here to here. And that's like, Natalie, that's like the best speech I ever heard. I think like if you stay ready, you don't got to get ready. And I could tell that you prepared for that speech because like it was flawless. I have nothing bad to say about that speech at all. I like how you made us all participate, how you made us all stand up. And then also a good thing about your speeches, you related how your trainer kind of made you feel uncomfortable in a certain situation. And like for a lot of people coming to Toastmasters, participating can be very uncomfortable. So I like how you made, including like some of us, or including me, like get out our comfort zone and like stand up and like sway back and forth. I saw David trying to do it, and I was like, yeah, man. It's like shaking my head like it's not for us. And so I like how you made us participate in your speech. I like the lesson that you taught in your speech about you are who you choose to be. What you think is what comes out in reality, and you relate it to yourself. And like I say, it's the best speech I ever heard. I've heard a lot of great speeches. I've heard Less Brown is Possible. I've heard Eric Thomas that you want to succeed as bad as you want to breathe. Natalie, I think you should take that speech and compete, and you should just blow it up. Because I think that's something that could change the world. All right, because I think it's some people here who are very impacted by your speech and everything that you have to say. And I feel like your speech can change the world. Like I said, I feel like it was flawless, and I have nothing. I know you're supposed to like think of something to say to improve it, but I have nothing to say what you can improve on besides take it into competitions and blow it up to change the world. That's it. Back to you, Mr. General Evaluator.
Thanks,
Thank
Ali.
you, Ali. Very thoughtful evaluation as usual. Now I would like to call next Natalie, who has already been evaluated, and she is also having a double role tonight. Thank you for that. She will be evaluating our second speaker, Andrew. Come on, Natalie.
Thank you, Elvis. Andrea, I really loved your speech, and I particularly loved that you jumped in at the last hour. If David hadn't shared that, I wouldn't have known. You were so poised, and your pace was excellent. I love the tips that you shared. They were novel. I'm going to definitely be integrating them, from taking a pause to reintegrating the question, sharing a past memory, and also jumping to future examples. I really liked that in your speech as well. You gave us an opportunity to get to know you. So you gave us valuable tips, but you also gave us insight to yourself. And that really gave me the opportunity to feel connected to you, which I enjoyed. And I would say the one change that I would make is to stand up or choose a different chair, because that spinny kind of chair, I do it too when I have it. You rock side to side. And so at times that takes away a bit of the focus from your message. But other than that, I thought it was excellent. And I'm beyond impressed that you just whipped that out of your back pocket. I hope to be able to do that someday. Thank you.
Thank you, Natalie. Great evaluation. Now I will proceed to ask for the timer report before giving the general evaluation. Mr. Timer.
Yeah, so we had Ali at 2 minutes, 18 seconds and Natalie at 1 minute, 14 seconds. And sorry, because I started to time you as well, so.
Great.
You can tell that I'm new.
Thank you, Mr. Timer. I would like to start off by saying, well, we have been fortunate to start the year with a meeting like this. First, our new novel president, David Jones, who actually introduced the meeting, greeted all the participants, past member or older members of the club, as well as the our guests, and kept on the attention into everyone who was actually getting into the meeting to allow them to introduce themselves. Very well done, Mr. Toastmaster. I like also the theme of the night, The meeting has a theme, very interesting, raise your standard. And I think most of, and I would say not most of, but all of the participants tonight raised their standard by going beyond, above and beyond, offering themselves, getting impromptu speeches, even to fill positions that they were not even aware they would do today, but they were up to the challenge and raised up their standards. It was good to see John Capello, Jeff Torun actually joining our meeting. Great seeing you after a long time. And also you came up ready and gave your participation as well. So good to see that. That's the idea for coming into Toastmasters meeting. The idea for us, for all of us to be here, is to improve our speaking skills, and how better way to do that than trying to speak, right? Giving a speech, even if it is impromptu or prepared, or just participating in any of the roles. As you can see, all of the roles have somehow the intention or give the participation or the ability to anyone to do their some sort of a speech. I like the message of the inspirational speaker, John. Be a thermostat nor a thermometer. Great message. The grammarian Bulut, as usual, also great introduction and great explanation of the role. I think it was very clear. Julian, as timer for the first time, you did a great job. It also helps you to realize that even the easiest job can be challenging at times. And definitely it requires preparation and being and paying attention and also getting prepared to even do that role that seems easy or a very simple one, but it also has its challenges. Great job, Julian. Natalie, as a speaker and as a evaluator, very thorough in both of your roles. Great speech and also great evaluation. Andrea, kudos for stepping up to the plate, filling up a speaker role, doing an impromptu speech that was a great speech. You gave us a lot of ideas, a lot of recommendations, but also kept the whole structure of the speech with your introduction, your content, and also ended up with a summary, which was actually very interesting. That you were able to pull that up in such a small amount of time. The table topics, Angelica, also great job bringing us all to thinking about vacation, especially after having a year of challenges, struggles, and going over so many things and starting the year thinking about what are we going to do next and how is our vacation going to be like. A great job at actually getting everybody to participate. Good questions. Thank you for great participation and a great job. All the table topics participants also did a great job. I think motivated by by Andrea and their impromptu speaking skills training. Great job, everyone. Ali, very thorough evaluation, as well as Natalie. I think we have been keeping track of the time, and I think also is going to be a great meeting in that regards as well. It started on time, and I think is going to be finished on time without taking anything off and adding even a couple of things. So all in all, great job, everyone. And now I will leave you back with before getting to our Toastmaster, I would like to call our grammarian for the Grammarian Report.
Thank you, Mr. General Evaluator. As promised, I kept really good track of everyone's filler words. So you can see at the top, use of the word and different filler words and names. What you'll notice is that this page is full. Well, if you can see it, this page is full of tick marks. So we all had our fair share of filler words tonight. And every one of us had more if we spoke more naturally. So I'm using so for myself. I'll take it here. But I want to first start by acknowledging the use of the word. I think we all did a phenomenal job of using the word of the day today. David used it once, as far as I could count. Natalie once. Ali used it once. Angelica, I believe twice. Elvis used it 3 times. Thank you. Tara used it once. And let me see. I think that's all. But all in all, that's great use of the word of the day. Thank you, everyone who used it. David, your most used crutch word was You used it 3 times. That's overall really good for the duration of the speaking time you had today. So congratulations. Natalie, you had 2 ums, 2 so's, and 1 and. Ali, you used like 5 times, and so and a total of 5 times, and once. Angelica, your crutch word, your favorite crutch word is you used it 4 times, and so twice. And you also have a crutch word, and you used that twice. Elvis, you didn't use a whole lot of crutch words. You used twice. However, you used the word great, I want to say more than 10 times. You could use a different word to describe how great the meeting was or how great each speaker or what role was. So that's an area of opportunity for, or something that you may want to consider for later. John, you had 1 of okay, right. And Julian, your favorite crutch word was so. I'll speed it up a little bit. Jeff, yours was right. You used right 5 times. Parvinder, yours was so and you used both of them 3 times. And Mina, your favorite one was you used that 7 times. Thank you, and back to you, Mr. General Evaluator.
Thank you, Mr. Grammarian. Thank you for a thorough evaluation and paying attention to all those crutch words. I use a lot myself too. Now with that concludes our evaluation section of the meeting. I will give you back with Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you, Mr. General Evaluator. Appreciate it. And I think we had a great meeting. First thing I'm going to do is announce our winners. Now, for those of you who wondered why I didn't put up a poll for general evaluators, that was because everything here is timed and we have to stay within a certain time limit. And unfortunately, Natalie came under time, so she didn't qualify. You have to do between 2 and 3 minutes. I think she was about less than a minute and a half, so she didn't qualify. Therefore, the favorite evaluator of the evening is Holly Tobin. And you did do a great speech, but you were evaluating Natalie, so it was kind of a dual win for her. And our favorite table topics for the evening was Tara. Congratulations, Tara, our guest. And finally, our favorite speech winner of the night was Natalie. So Natalie did get a win tonight, even though it wasn't an evaluation. So great job, Natalie. It was a good speech. And I love how you got us all to stand up and be engaged. That's perfect. Now, what we'd like to do is open the floor to any of our guests or our members such as Jeff or John and see how you felt about the meeting, especially John. You know, you haven't been to a Zoom meeting yet before, so any thoughts from any of you? Welcome to give us your thoughts about the meeting.
Sure, I'm happy to jump in. This is my first Zoom experience. I did like the structure. I think that I hope to be joining more often. I think that this still provides a useful forum to still improve communication skills, even though we don't get the full effect of body language. And I always like utilizing the body language in part of my speech, and maybe Natalie's example of standing up. I'll have to use that within a Zoom construct if I do participate that way. So thank you for allowing me to participate. Thank you.
Great. Thanks for joining us. Jeff, you're going to say something.
Yeah, sure. I actually received a tip from a career coach about a week ago with regard to Zoom meetings, and it looks like David and Natalie, it looks like you're both doing this thing, which is standing up. So a lot of us are sitting down, including me. You can tell by the room there. You can see the ceiling in my room. When we stand up, we can project our voices more, and people are doing this even with Zoom meetings now. I've heard that a really easy way to get your camera higher is to grab a box or something, or some books or whatever, put your monitor or laptop on it and raise it up. So that way you're able to stand while speaking.
Perfect. Thank you much. Anyone else have any feedback for tonight? No? Yes, Ali.
I'd like to say, I think this is a perfect way to kick off 2021 with our first meeting. I think this is a perfect way to put us into the right position to where we want to go and where we want to be. And I would encourage guests to keep going. And I would encourage guests also to keep coming and keep going forward, but to also think about joining, because joining Toastmasters can help you, not even just public speaking, but it can help you in all different fields of your life. People join Toastmasters and they start a business, they blow up. People join Toastmasters and they get married. People join Toastmasters and they go get a dog. It makes them happy. So I would just suggest any guests, if you're having that thought like, should I don't know, pull the trigger. If you need some advice and need some help pulling the trigger, I'm here to help you.
Thank you, Ali. Ali is our VP of membership, so he's the one to speak to. And Nina.
Yes. So today I was in another meeting and I missed Natalie's speech. So I see that you are recording. So can I go back and listen to it?
Yes, we're going to be posting this year our meetings on our YouTube channel, which if you go to our website, it's at the top there. So I'm not sure how long it's going to take me to post it, maybe an hour a day. I've never done it before, but we'll be posting them on our YouTube channel so we can go back and review them. So yes.
Okay, and then you are going to let us know that it's on.
Yeah.
Yeah, sounds great. Thank you.
All right, well, I'm going to go ahead and end the meeting because we are a little bit over, but we have a thing called Post Toasties, which everybody can stay after and chat and talk unofficial, and I'll even turn off the camera then. So yeah, so I just want to say good night to anybody, but if you want to stay after and join us for a little chit chat, that's fine too.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.